Hello folks, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Train Fever, and once again we're following one of these fellas, another old timer who is very much in need of retirement and take him out to a farm and sit on the porch for the rest of their days, insisting that the local children get off their lawn. Yes, he's run his course. He's making me he's serving the public duty, but it's 79 years old, for crying out loud, and it's losing money every year. So, and it's got away from me. And yes, so what we're going to start out with today is we're going to put this guy out to pasture and replace it with something a little bit more modern. So this is the Red Hill Ilford line, costing me the best part of $1 million a year. Thanks very much for that. Before I replace it, I want to just show the line that it's running. So here we go. They're coming into Ilford, I believe. Yes, here we go, Ilford. And it heads up to Red Hill. Now, Red Hill to Ilford, the easiest route would be something along those lines. So let's move my cursor a little more slowly. Something along those lines. But no, that's not how I've built it at all. I've got this handbrake turn going around here, and then, we have to slow down. It's a very cornery based service. So, as much as I might be tempted to stick another dual stocks on that one, I'm not going to. I'm going to stick a Metroliner on that. Metroliner. If only they were available in this playthrough. The Metroliner is the solution to every problem. No, I'm going to put one of the Mirage. Where are we? Come to me. Here we go. A Rabdi. Yes, we're going to stick one of these on here because, it's not got a brilliant top speed, and as such, it's not going to be so heavily affected by these corners, or it's not going to lose profitability as a result of those corners. So let's once again follow this old chap here as he heads on his final mission. And then, as we have been doing for the last couple of episodes, we're going to tinker. This is the tinkering period of the game. And once we're out the other side of that, then we can look into expansion. Quite a lot of road traffic is now sorted. We've got 12 million in the bank again. Slow it down. Have some majesty about the retirement of this chap. He's done ever such a good job. So there we go, coming into the station now with 29 passengers on board this final hurdle as we come into town. And over here is where we're going next, because we've got more of that to do. There we go. So it's got its own very own apocalypse wagon. It doesn't actually do that much more speed, but it's going to cost me less to run. So all being well, that will turn out nicely. Now, I'm going to turn my attention to the Red Hill to Seaford route, because financially, this is making me an unrealistic amount of money, for reasons I do not fully understand. Now, I guess it's down to Seaford being a fairly isolated destination. If we could follow this chat. Let's see what sort of speed we top out at here. How long have you been in service? 70 years in service, and yet it is still profitable. That's faintly remarkable. That is 63 of 72 passengers on board, and what are we doing? 90. 70 years in service, and it's still making me gangbusters levels of money. In fact, I believe this route is my most profitable. 1.9 million it's generated this year so far. Anybody else want to compete with that? Nobody. There's the dual stocks that we put in. 1.3 million profit this year. Very good. Long may it continue. But yeah, this old beast topped out at 125 miles an hour. That's actually miles an hour. Chance of be a fine thing. Kilometers an hour. Despite being ancient and despite costing me a heck of a lot of money to run, this is getting it done. Now, I ought to survey this route, because at its current speed, okay, so it's got a nice run from Seaford to Red Hill. But I'm still at a loss. I still don't fully understand why it's making so much cash. So I think I might stick a couple of dual stocks on in place and see if it can turn a little bit of cash that it's making now into a whole bunch. So it seems to top out at 120 kilometers an hour. The dual stocks does 200 kilometers an hour. I just question whether by changing things I'm going to run the risk of this actually losing money. It's somewhere on this bridge at the moment. Here we go. So let's watch it coming off. There you go, that's a pretty sight. Even if I say so myself. Right, okay, so let's... yeah, we're already at slow, so let's... I'm reluctant to do this. Although, actually, commuter train, what can you carry? You can carry 99 passengers. But it has to be said that for the amount of running cost, 1.36 versus 1.5, I mean, it's 140,000. But that's a heck of a lot slower and not an awful lot cheaper. Right, that's that sorted. That was a decision easily made. Okay, well, we've got a replacement in now. So let's in fact, we've replaced them both. Right, excellent. See, these guys are just keen. Keen is what they are. Right, so we're going to follow this guy out. He's got 54 of 142. Now, I don't think we're going to be pushing 142 anytime soon, but let's see what sort of speeds we can get on this route. Now, it's not going to be quick to start with because we've got this swan neck of a corner that we're having to slow down increasingly for. The 50. Yikes. I don't want to have to relay it because we've got this bridge here, and that bridge is I think the bridge pushes double digits in terms of the number of millions it costs to make. But we should pick up a bit of speed now that we're on the straight. There we go. So we've already exceeded the top speed of the previous train. The question is, have we got any other bleed off points? Because if it's just that corner, I won't be too bothered about that. I know, there's a hushed and an awed silence as we wait to see if the artist previously dubbed the little train that could can maintain this level of success. It would be nice to think it could. Anyway, let's follow on. So this is another reskin that I did. I'm not overjoyed with it. It's a little bit too simplistic for my taste. But I mean, simple can be good. I mean, it's a reasonably good-looking reskin. Admittedly, I should put my logo on there in black, I guess, or red, or something, equally dramatic. Anyway, that digression aside leads us into it pulling into the station, and the question is going to be what sort of passenger count is going to be waiting, because obviously it has taken far less time to reach its destination than it would have done previously. And I may even have to pay attention, although those two trains did upgrade themselves, fairly quickly, so the spacing should remain the same. But if I've got the spacing wrong, I'm going to need more signals. So let's have a quick look. Coming in, not going to make the most money in the world. 54 is pretty good, but it's not, nothing to write home about. Now, if it were carrying 70 or so, empty, reload. Keep going. Go on. 56. 56 might be enough for it to be a profitable over. 58. Yeah. Any more? I think we should leave the station now. There we go. 60 on board. 60 is pretty good. Right, let's go and just track down the other one before I move on to bigger and brighter things. There's the other one. What are you carrying up in the opposite direction? So the spacing is pretty spot on. 64 on one, 60 on the other. I think that's going to pan out quite nicely. We shall drop by on that before we finish up today. So this leaves Red Hill to Ilford. Why is Red Hill to Ilford not making me money? I don't know. I'm not bothered about that at the moment. Anybody else? Dukenfield to Earthlingburgh should be making cash. It's a relatively new service. Equally, I'm going to depress myself a little further and see how much wood we're actually transporting these days. Let's up the tempo a touch. So these are all, you know, we're in the realm of common themes going on here. Actually, I can remember how much lumber we were generating here. Okay, it was at 106, it's now at 131, so in the last couple of episodes it has picked up a little bit. I am less worried about it now. In fact, I am so much less worried, I'm going to stop following that train. How are we getting on over here? Ah, yes, Earthling Borough was short on some... I just upgraded. What was it? What was it I was looking at? This was in the previous episode. Earthling Borough lumber... Well, clearly we're carrying some now because we're making profit. Any of you... You're packing 3. Big whoops. None of the rest of you are packing any. So I'm going to transfer one of you to another line. Let's put you on Earthling Borough lumber. Let's drag this across so that I can actually do that. Earthling Borough lumber. No, it can't carry lumber. It can only carry goods. Okay, all right. Well, let's put it on something else then. Let's put it on Nailsworth Steel 2. That sounds like the sort of thing that people ought to be involved in. Right. Nailsworth Steel 2. There we go. Figure out a route. Get it happening. So, yeah, I mean, we've spoken about this before as far as trucks are concerned. Having 4 in operation is overkill at this stage of the game. Those trucks can carry quite a lot. Now, if the areas they're attached to were actually maxed out, then that would be a different conversation. But sadly, I don't have anything maxed out at the moment. Right, Boreham Wood Coal. Time for you to get with the program. And I've been doing this for the last couple of episodes is, you know, making sure that we're running good, solid, up-to-date, modern truck services, but doing it in such a way that we don't overextend. Bournemouth Oil Goods, nothing. Okay. 4, yes, nothing. And I don't want to take those trucks off there because in doing so it sends a weird message to the industry that you don't care anymore or something, and so it doesn't bother kicking out quite as much product, despite the fact you have got storage galore on board your trucks to actually carry stuff out. And part of me has always wondered whether it's worth... Has anybody... there's a comment for you to chuck down if you've got one. Has anybody run a wait until full service that actually worked? There you go. There's a challenge. Have you had a train or a truck that you've told to, you know, hang around until it's got a full load that has actually been A, profitable, and B, able to actually get a full load before moving on? Because if I could make that work... Then we are in all kinds of business. Oh, those two got done quite quickly. Clearly somewhat ancient vehicles. Next up, Dinnington Oil Goods. Hello, Dinnington Oil Goods. Welcome aboard. Truck. Change to. Goods. Assign to. Off you trot. Get it done. And we'll do the same for Dronfield Coal as well. So, yeah, the times where we were wondering whether we would ever see profitability again, I think we can safely say they're gone for the time being. Not that I won't bump into them again. If there's one truism of having played through quite a lot of this now, is, or rather, played through a lot of this repeatedly, is that, you know, running into financial difficulty is just a thing that I do. That's you know, part of my genetic makeup in this kind of game is running out of cash. Right, there we go. That's those all sorted. I'll wait till they're done, and then we'll revisit and get the next lot. Because as you can see, I've got quite a few buses, trucks, and so forth that need bringing up to speed. In fact, I'm going to do something nice for Dinnington and offer them a spangly new Volvo. Everybody loves a new Volvo. What about these? Dronfield into... Look at these two ancient beasts. Let's get them Volvoed as well while we're at it. Okay, good. Right, let's get something built, shall we? We've, you know, that's enough general upgrading. He didn't turn up to look at menus after all. Right, recently cancelled. Banbury to Newton. So we do need to upgrade this line. I'm going to reinstitute the passenger service here. But in order to do so, I'm going to first need to bring the track up to modern code. Do you have any kind of a battle plan for getting under there, I wonder? Yes, I think I will probably delete the road and do it again. Okay, so I withdrew this train. This was the A4 that I got rid of, well, half a dozen episodes ago now. And it was because it was making me a huge loss, and it was generally just bad news. Right, okay, so we've got Banbury to Derby coming up. And I wonder, in fact, I might expand into that in the next episode, but not right now. For now, what I want to do is just get the Banbury to Newton service running again, because I think that will also help Newton out to wherever the heck it is, Dukenfield. I think it will also help on that front, because more passengers makes for more passengers, as well, you know. Let's just get rid of that. Why I'm upgrading the road here, where the last thing I want to do is for people to actually use it. You know, that's just one of the quirks of how I roll. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure out where to stick a station in Derby. The ideal would be right in the middle here, but I don't think that's on. In fact, we could then head out to Plymouth, so we could do a 4-stopper, Banbury to Newton to Plymouth and Derby, and insert whatever order you like. Possibly stick a 4-station at Plymouth, or well, 2 might do it, and run a Worksop Plymouth route. I like that. Okay, so I think that's where we'll head next time. I think we'll head through Derby. I've got the cash to do this. Head through Derby to Plymouth and set up a multi-stop. And what have we got here? We can do oil. That's good. We've got three steel mills. We've got some iron here. We've got some coal there. I think if we were to triangulate on there, maybe this will be the first one where I run 2 train services to deliver the raw goods. That could be exciting. Admittedly, from Plymouth, you're going to be looking at delivering to Worksop, Nailsworth, Newton, Banbury, Derby. There's lots of going on there. All right, okay, I'm excited to be a part of this. Shall I dual track now? No, we'll dual track next time, because it's like Bridgefest going on here. But what I do need is, I definitely need an engine shed. We've got one here. Only leads onto 1 track. We only need 1 track at the moment, so let's buy a train. Okay, so this is a short route, but the question is, are we going to be able to, and this corner is obviously not going to be full speed. I think that'll probably be a 70-80 km/h corner. Now, if we can get through Derby, and maybe I spend 5-6 million on bulldozing a load of this stuff in the middle to get a station in. I think it pays for itself over time. I don't know what the citizens of Derby are going to think about that, but I do think it pays for itself over time. More dwelling on that, I think, is needed. Anyway, let's get this train rolling, and I think we're going to go for a dual stocks again, because it will eventually. It's not going to pay for itself right now, but eventually, once it's running this 4-stop route, that will be exactly the kind of thing that will be helpful. So we're going Banbury Newton, and as you can see, that is yet to take on. In fact, if I bring my routes up here, as you can see, when I rebuilt Dukenfield, I gave it a new naming convention, so I know it had been done. I think I'll wait until I've built this 4-stopper before I do something similar here. So have a look at this. 136 seconds, 45, 41, and we're profitable. These 2 dual stocks on my hyper profit route, and I don't know why it's so profitable, are doing great guns. Dronfield Dingson's going pretty well. Redhill Ilford, I need to scowl at a little bit more. In fact, there's a few services here I need to scowl at. I mean, you're carrying 61, well, that's better than it was, but for the love of God, start making me some money. Anyway, here we go. Right, good. Off we trot. Now, the question is, yeah, this is not going to run well until because it's going to be interfering with the other service coming into Newton out of Dukinfield, and therefore I'm going to need to put some thought into double tracking that fairly quickly, and I think that's where we'll start out next time. So when we begin, we will start from Newton to Banbury. We'll double track that up and we'll probably get 2 trains running on there just to keep it, exciting. In fact, we could go further still. Why stop at Newton? That means a backing service out of Newton in both directions. We could go all the way to Dukinfield. So we could go Dukinfield, Newton, Banbury, Derby, Plymouth, potentially Worksop. I think Worksop's Plymouth is a separate route. I think we go as far as Plymouth. Anyway, tune in for that. It's sure to be entertaining because me building track and getting frustrated, that's bread and butter stuff there. Do I want to finish on another dual stock? Yeah, I'm going to finish on another dual stock. Here we go. Let's make it happen. Currently carrying no passengers. So as we wend our way in 2027, well into the future here, thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Yeah, I'm starting to get the bit between my teeth now as far as developing this series further, and we're going to build another excitable. We still need to revisit Dronfield to get that station up to modern standards. Run a few more trains in and out of there. We can now, of course, add more trains to our services in and out of Dukinfield. Will that be overkill? I don't yet know. But thanks very much for watching today. Please chuck us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching, and cheerio.
This